What is going on, everyone? I'm back. It's the post-Christmas special, and today we're going to be talking about, of course, everything that happened during Christmas, but instead of just the usual, we're going to talk about the future. What's going to happen upcoming in 2024? How about my year-end series? How about ideas for playthroughs coming up soon? Well, we also got some Rockstar leaks to discuss today, so it's a very exciting podcast. Hope you'll stick around for all this and more right after the intro. Alrighty, everyone. So, indeed it is true. The eggnog has been drank. The tree has been trimmed. The roast beast has been devoured. For today is December 26, 2023, and Christmas is officially over for the year. But that doesn't mean the festive vibes stop, because here on DSPGaming, we keep this party going. Alright, we keep it rolling. And it will keep rolling. You're still going to see these festive decorations. I'm probably not going to be using this border as much, to be honest. Today will probably be the last day, or maybe next to last day. But you will still see some cool winter stuff around here. I'm going to keep the festive Christmas-themed animations up, at least until the end of the month. Maybe I'll even keep them going a little bit longer until like early January, until we get through the year-end series. And then maybe I'll retire them and get the new setup for the new year going. But I love this time of year, and it's not over yet. You know, we still got till New Year's, so I hope that you guys had a great Christmas. On today's show, I'm going to tell you about mine. I'd love to hear about yours when we get to the Q&A segment and the open discussion segment near the end of the show. But yeah, I was not here for Christmas Eve night and also all-day Christmas, so I'll tell you about my days off. I'll also tell you about what I got for Christmas, which you might have a little hint about that already. Although, every time I wear an undershirt like this, it actually bothers me. I don't know, it's like a pet peeve of mine if the undershirt's not even. I guess it's even now, but it wasn't for a second there. Anyway, so we'll be talking about that, and food, and all kinds of stuff. Also, during my day off, I was absolutely thinking about what we should do in 2024. And I have some good ideas that have popped into my head of things to do in January based on your feedback. And I want your ideas. I want to hear your feedback this morning about these. Also, I need ideas about, like, for example, how long certain games are. Because we have a certain amount of time in January to basically play games before we get to the big new releases at the end of the month. And I want to know if the plans that I've come up with fit in line with that, or maybe I'm either over-assuming that we have as much time as we have, or maybe I'm under, maybe it's not enough. I don't know. You'll see what I mean when we start talking about this, okay? So that's going to be today. And then also, some news. Rockstar Games, huge leak, which incidentally is just the leftovers of the same leak that they already had. If you remember, what was it, a year ago? When that big leak happened with all the GTA 6 information and assets, and then we came to find out, well, that was really early stuff. It didn't really affect GTA 6 at all. But now a bunch of other information has leaked on the internet in regards to Rockstar's financial plans and game development plans of the last decade. And come to find out, I wish this were an exaggeration. I wish I were wrong, but I wasn't. All the stuff I've been telling you guys about the last 10 years of Rockstar and what games they were making and the financial choices they were making and the things they were working on, 100% I was dead on correct guessing or assuming that it was all based on the success of Grand Theft Auto Online. I mean, wait till you hear what we're going to talk about today. The games that they already had planned and were in development, right? And were ready to go. and the games that were never made and or canceled or otherwise turned into other crappy stuff because GTA Online was essentially printing them money and they didn't want to put time and effort into anything else. So, this should be a good show today. First of all, I'd like to say happy holidays. I hope you all had a great Christmas. Everyone out there watching, whether you're here live with me this morning, whether you're watching on demand after the fact, I certainly hope that your holiday celebration was a fun one, a good one, a safe one. I hope you got everything you wanted, and if you didn't, it's all good. Most people don't, and it's not really what the season is about anyway, right? For most people, it's supposed to be about spending time with family or friends, having meaningful moments, and or feeling an overall feeling of like joy and happiness around, you know, how things are going in your life. A lot of people tend to forget that. They think, well, I didn't get what I wanted on Christmas morning, and therefore this is awful. Well, you have to stop being like the Grinch and start being like the Who's in Whoville. All right? That's all I'm going to say. So right now, you should paint a giant or attach a giant, what do they call it, prosthetic nose onto your face, just like the cast of the live-action Grinch movie. And you should start singing Davudores in the streets right now, because it is the day after Christmas, and, you know, now is the time. If you're ever going to, now would be the time, right? Anyway, let's continue, shall we? So anyway, let's talk about everything. Let's start at the beginning. Being that this is the day after Christmas, it is Boxing Day. For those who don't know, this is an annual holiday in Great Britain where they box each other in the streets. They just walk up, and if you're not careful, someone will just, cold cock you right in the jaw. And then they'll actually steal all your Christmas pudding. They'll go right into your pants or into your fridge, and they'll take all your leftovers. It's pretty messed up. I don't know why they think this is a great holiday over there when you're just walking and cold cocking people all over the streets, but that's just how it is. Now, some people would say that it's not that, but it has something to do with boxes or something like that. I don't know. I really don't care. I'm American, you know. I don't give a shit. But happy Boxing Day to those who actually celebrate it. I appreciate all of you out there who are still here hanging out with me today, despite the fact that it may still be about, you know, a holiday. In fact, Carlac just said Boxing Day is about charity, orphanages. They would put boxes on their doors for gifts for the kids, and you would typically give gifts to your servants. Oh, I see. So in your giant household of servants, because obviously it's typical in Great Britain that all of you over there would have insanely huge mansions, households. You know, you'd have like a butler whose name is like what? Like Wadsworth, right? And you'd have like a whole staff, like a cook, a live-in cook, you know, a nanny, a wet nurse, a maid, a series of maids. You'd actually have people who clean your yards as well. So you would today would be the day that you would say, you know, Happy Boxing Day, and you give them like a raisin, and they would say, oh, thank you so much. You finally fed us for the first time in the 25 years that we've been in indentured servitude to you. You know, right? So there you go. Obviously, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just joking. But anyway, guys, let's talk about, you know, what I did for my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because I know you guys want to know. I mean, why else would you be here, right? You don't care about games or YouTube shit. You want to hear about what I did on Christmas, right? So, basically, on Christmas Eve, I finished up with my React stream. And after I finished up with my React stream, I realized, I have to basically do, like, a bunch of stuff because I want to finish up with work and be done with it. I don't want to have to come back into this office at all. So, I basically, even though I only finished one stream, I had to do all my day-end stuff, which includes updating my schedule, filming the daily wrap, uploading to multiple places. I had to spread out all the videos for the week for the React show. I had to set up the threads so that you guys could start nominating clips for next week's React show. So I basically had to do like double work in the same sitting to get it all done. And at the same time, as soon as I went offline with DSP versus the Internet on DSP Reacts, my sister channel, I ran downstairs and my wife and I ordered some food. Because as I told you guys, we always order like Chinese food on Christmas Eve. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Listen to this one. This year, you ready for this? We didn't order Chinese food. We ordered Thai food instead. It's very exciting. Thai food instead of Chinese food. We wanted to mix it up because we had Chinese food like 5 years in a row. You get tired of the same thing, right? So like, let's do it different. We ordered Thai food, and I got this dish that was like cashew nuts mixed in with these rice noodles and a bunch of veggies, like a bunch of green peppers, red peppers, and other things. And my wife got a different dish, rice noodles, but it had like bean sprouts and other veggies. And the weird part was we each ordered a noodle dish, and we each ordered it. We wanted spice level of 2, please, because we're white, and white people can't take spice too much. Like, we have like, you get like 3, 4, and 5, you start crying, and that's no good. You start crying during dinner. You just can't enjoy it. So we ordered level 2. And the weirdest part about this was we're each eating our dinner. And my wife's like, it's good, but my God, this is so spicy. Next time I'll definitely order level 1 or level 0. And I was eating mine, and I was like, wait, but I don't get it because I ordered spice level 2, and I think mine is too mild. Like, I would prefer more spice. So it was kind of like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. You know, she laid in the baby's bed, and it was too soft. And then she laid in the dad's bed, and it was too hard. But then when she laid in the mama bear's bed, it was just right, the right softness. Or the porridge that was too cold and too hot. So it's kind of that methodology. It seems like they didn't, even though we ordered level 2 spice for each dish, they didn't nail it. One was way too much and one was way too little. So we actually split each other's dishes. She had half and half, and I ate half and half of hers and mine. And then we actually really liked it. We're coming to appreciate Thai food a little more because we don't eat it that often, but there are a bunch of Thai places out here. And we're like, oh, we're going to start getting this more often than I feel. I think it makes more sense because we liked it. So we had Thai food, and, excuse me. And then after that, we just kind of hung out for a while. We played with Jasper Kitty. Jasper got some of his toys. Yes, he opened his stocking of toys, and we gave him a little green, like, cushy ball and a little green, like, tinsel. No, it was red. A red tinsel ball that he was, like, playing with and running around the house looking at. Okay? So he was playing with those. And then we were, well, my wife wanted to relax a little bit, and she wanted to play a game. And one of the games that has just been added to Game Pass is Far Cry 6. So she actually booted up Far Cry 6 and kind of played, like, through the intro. And I helped her through, you know, telling her some of the differences between Far Cry 6 and 5. She had played 5 a couple years ago, and she liked the gameplay but hated the plot. And I agree with her. Like, I think the plot of Far Cry 5 is shitty, but overall the game's a little addicting when it comes to the, you know, the gameplay and stuff. So she started playing Far Cry 6. I watched her play that for a little bit. And basically then she was like, all right, you got to open your presents. And I was like, but it's not Christmas yet. It's still Christmas Eve. And my wife's like, no, you have to open the presents. I said, but that's against the rules. The rules say you're not allowed to open your presents till Christmas Day. And my wife goes, these are our rules. We make them because it's our family. I don't want to hear you ever say that ever again. I was like, okay, honey. And so I opened my presents. And the first present that I opened, Jasper is going crazy on the mic. If you're wondering why the mic is moving, if you hear anything, he's rubbing his face all over the mic. Jasper, you're being very ridiculous today. Look at this. There he goes. Okay, so first of all, I opened my first present, all right? And it is this very nice sweater, as you can see. Now, this sweater can be zipped up as well, but I actually zipped it up, and I'll show you. It looks pretty nice, right? I actually really like it zipped up. The problem is, the sun is out today. So as I was setting up for today's stream, I had it zipped up just like this. And I'm like, oh, it looks good zipped up. Wow, what a nice sweater. I really like this one. Look, it's nice elaborate. Look at the design on it, right? It's the most elaborate sweater that I own. A lot of people are saying it looks like a cardigan. I have no clue. Maybe it is. I don't know the criteria for what's a cardigan or what's just like a normal sweater or whatever. I have no idea. All right. But the other thing I like is that it's a color I don't have. Like, I don't have any clothes of this color. So it's perfect. It like accentuates and expands my wardrobe options, right? It is warm and cozy, but the problem is the sun is out today. So I'm sitting in the office with it zipped up. I'm like, oh, like I'm getting hot. I started sweating. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, my chest was sweating. I was like, oh, what the frick? It's friggin' winter, and I'm sweating wearing a sweater in the house. Why? The heat doesn't reach this office, just to make it clear. It's not like my heat is blasting in my house and it's hot in here. The heat does not reach this office at all. The problem is the sun's out, and when the sun is out, it beats on this office wall and heats the office up. So I unzipped it, and that's what I'll have to do. It's 100% a cardigan. You guys think so? Okay, if it's a cardigan, it's a cardigan. I'm rolling with that. I'm going to say it's my Christmas cardigan. A gift for my wife. I really like it. So, I think it's comfy. It looks nice. It's all good. And it's nice, too. I can wear this outside, too. Like, it's not just something you wear around the house, right? But I'm hoping, like, if I get hot, I have to unzip again. That's why I had it unzipped to start. Because, man, it gets hot wearing this thing indoors because of the sun on the office. If it were a cool, rainy day outside, it would be perfect, you know? But what are you going to do? So, anyway. So, this is my first gift. And my wife also got me some cologne. Here's the thing. We used to wear cologne and perfume. Not expensive ones, by the way. I want to make that clear. We would go to, like, the discount stores, like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and whatever they have on sale in there. You know, you would grab a bottle for, like, between 10 to 30 bucks, and it would be like a giant bottle that would last you, like, a year, right? So that's what we used to do. And we used to wear cologne and perfume all the time pre-COVID. And then when COVID hit, it just screwed everything up. Like, we stopped going out. We stopped regularly wearing this stuff. Basically, life just changed. It was a shame. I think that was nice. Every week we were going out and we were having good activity together, and we had regular places we like to hang out and go and eat. It all changed. A lot of the places we used to go are closed or changed to different businesses after COVID. It really did screwed up a lot of stuff. So my wife actually, for the first time in years, bought me a new bottle of cologne. I was like, oh, this is nice. I'm wearing it right now. And before you ask me what it is, I literally have no idea. I don't pay any attention. You know me. I'm an oaf. I'm sure if you ask my wife, she'd be able to tell you exactly what it is. I have no clue. It smells great. I'm pretty sure this is one that either we've had before or like we were in a store and you have the samplers, you smell the samplers, and we smelled it and really liked it. It's a little like citrusy. I have no clue what it is. But anyway, it's great. So, yeah, I'm wearing this. I'm wearing some cologne today with my brand new sweater. So I'm basically all decked out in my Christmas gifts, right? That's what I'm wearing right now, which is nice to have this the day after Christmas. It's nice to know that my wife had some nice thoughts she put into it and got me some nice things. So yeah, so that was our Christmas Eve basically. Is it was food, and she played some Far Cry 6. Jasper had his toys. I had my gifts. And then basically we had like a drink. And that night, what did I have? No, I didn't have the cider until yesterday. So last night, I think I just had like a mixed drink. Oh, sorry, I got a burp. Excuse me. Yeah, I just had a margarita. That's right. We each had margaritas. We each had margaritas last night. No, Christmas Eve. We each had margaritas. And then we went to sleep. So Christmas Day we got up. And Christmas Day was both a chill but fun day as well. Alright? It was a chill but fun day. We woke up and we're cooking. We were cooking breakfast together. And so we had scrambled eggs with cheese and a little bit of bacon bits. And we had turkey sausage that was frozen. We just, we warmed it up. And waffles that we tossed in the microwave. Not the microwave, the toaster. I know. We didn't do everything. We were originally going to make everything from scratch. And we were like, do we really want to spend hours cleaning everything up? Because we're going to have an elaborate dinner. And we're like, probably doesn't make sense to do 2 elaborate meals. Let's do an easier breakfast. So we did. And as we were eating our breakfast, we had Christmas music playing, which was nice. And then basically after that, we washed up. We showered or whatever. And we fed the animals out back. Because like I told you guys, we have all kinds of woodland creatures that come into our backyard every morning. Because number 1, we have some nuts that we'll like put out on the back step. And number 2, we have the suet dispenser now. It's a little cage, and you put a block of suet bird food in there. And every day, animals, squirrels, birds of every kind come by and eat this stuff. And it's really nice because we had a ton of animals in the backyard, and that gave Jasper something to do. He was so excited. to see all these wild creatures out there, you know, running around and having a good time. So he loves that. Like I said, I've always told you guys, this is a cat house, a cat style house, like with all the windows, with the amount of space to run around in, the things to climb and jump in, and then having a backyard where we can have all these wild creatures come by. He loves it. So he was having a great time yesterday with that. Geez, all the things we did over the course of the day. So my wife definitely played more Far Cry 6. She got further into the game, which was nice. I watched her play. We had all kinds of stuff. We had a box of chocolates. I told you, we bought a box of chocolates when we had gone to Costco a few weeks ago. And it was like a holiday-themed box of Belgian chocolate. So we opened it up, and we had some of those. My wife doesn't really like white chocolate. I think it's okay. So I ended up having like 2 or 3 chocolates that were all white chocolate style. One of them had like cookie pieces in it. One of them was supposed to have pistachio, but didn't really taste like pistachio. The one that I had that I really liked, it was so weird. It was supposed to be like tiramisu. And I ate it. I was like, it tastes nothing like tiramisu, but it tastes like a chocolate cookie cream. And it had like cookie pieces in it. I was like, dude, this chocolate's really, really good. And my wife had a couple too. I think one had like strawberry in it. She loved the strawberry one. So we had some of that. Over the course of the day, I had a couple drinks. I had like some of the apple whiskey that was in there. That was nice. I actually had a few shots of the peanut butter whiskey over the course of the day. What else did we do? So dinner was very elaborate. So first of all, our dinner protein was donated by my parents. It was one of their gifts. They actually had given this to us before Thanksgiving, but we opted to save it till Christmas. So what it was these turkey breasts, which are pretty small. They're only like this big, okay? But they're stuffed with stuffing and cranberries, and then they were tightly wrapped with bacon. So what you do is you roast these in your oven for like 45 minutes, and the outside, the bacon becomes crispy and full of flavor, and the turkey absorbs the bacon flavor. So as you're eating it, you're like, wow, it's like turkey flavor, or a bacon flavored turkey, which is amazing. Never had that before. And the stuffing actually tasted really good too. And then we made 2 sides. Homemade sweet potato mashed potatoes. So we chopped them up, we boiled them up, mashed them up, added brown sugar, some butter, some vanilla, and other things to it, right? And then we had homemade green bean casserole. Now, the green bean casserole was the first time we had ever made this. It worked, but it didn't. So allow me to explain. So we wanted to go totally, how can I say, like totally authentic. So we got fresh green beans. You know, you could make green bean casserole with canned green beans, but then you're talking about green beans that are like mushy, right? Like they're already mushy and not that good. They probably taste fine, but it's going to become like a goo. So we opted for the fresh green beans. The problem was, with the green beans that we got, it took a long time to prep them, which we didn't foresee. So we're standing there, we're like, so should we warm up the oven yet? Well, wait, let's prep the green beans first. And it took us, no exaggeration, like 40 minutes. Because we had to go through all the green beans, cut off the ends, wash them all, chop them into smaller pieces, and put them aside. It took forever. It was like, oh my God. We definitely, next time, are probably not going to do that. So then, what do we have in the green bean casserole? There was like cream of mushroom soup, some cheese, some of those fried onions that are like breaded fried onion crunchy thingies, whatever they're called. Put those in. Some seasonings. And my wife was seasoning it with like salt, pepper, and other things like that, right? So we did it all. And we tossed my wife made the mashed potatoes first. Put them aside. And then we tossed the turkey into the oven for like 20 minutes. And then we added the green bean casserole after. So the turkey cooked for like 45 minutes, and I think the green bean casserole cooked for like 25 minutes. And the truth is, we cooked it exactly the right amount. Because when we took out the casserole, it was perfectly crispy on top. And if we had left it in more, it would have burnt. We knew that. We saw it. Like, oh, that definitely would have burnt if we left it in longer. So we're glad we took it out when we did. The problem is, because we had used fresh green beans, they were more crunchy. I was okay with that. But my wife didn't really like that. She was like, man, I'm so used to green beans not being this crunchy. So the flavor was good. Like, the flavor was, like, tasty. We actually really liked the green bean casserole. The flavor. But having them be more crunchy was a little weird. Because, you know, how often do you actually eat fresh green beans? We don't. We usually would buy, like, canned veggies. So it was a little weird. They were all right. Let me put it that way. Like, the flavor was good. But, yeah, it's not the consistency you're expecting. So it's not as good as you probably would think it would have been. I still liked it, but basically what it was, we ate all this food, right? So the turkey was amazing. The mashed potatoes were good. The casserole was like, all right, but not as good as we thought it would have been. And then it's like, oh, okay. So now it's time to clean up. Oh, no. Dude, so many dishes. Just for that. For those 3 things we just described, you know, just to make the mashed potatoes, you've got the pot you boiled them in. You've got the bowl that you mashed them in. You got 100 utensils and things. You know, for the green bean casserole, we got the multiple cutting boards, the strainer, you know, all the utensils and things we used to mix it with and serve it with, and then the pan that we cooked it in, and then we got the pan that we baked the turkey in, and that all, you know, it had stuck to the pan, because that's the thing, you're cooking on bacon. Bacon's going to stick right to the pan. Even using cooking spray or whatever, it still sticks. There's nothing you can do about it. So now you got to scrub the pan. Dude, it took so long. So the food was good. Like, we really enjoyed our Christmas dinner. But the prep took like over an hour. The cooking took 45 minutes. And then the cleanup afterward took like another hour. So you're talking like 3.5 hours out of our day for dinner, right? Out of a day that we wanted to relax. And for 3.5 hours, we were essentially just cooking, baking, cleaning. Oh, that's the frustrating part. If you have a big family and you put a lot of work into having a homemade meal, number one, I certainly hope that your family appreciates it, because it's a lot of work. You know, I'm an adult. I get this. I really now have grown to appreciate what my mom and dad used to do for us when I was a kid. And in fact, I called my mom on Christmas Eve and I personally thanked her. I said, I just want to let you know I'm really thankful for the holidays and the way that you did up the house and everything back then, because now I have these really nice memories of all of that, and I can tell my audience about it, and they want to know. They want to hear about what I did when I was a kid. They're very interested, and it's nice to have these really positive memories to share with everybody, and I really am thankful for that. And she was so happy that I said that. You know, you may not realize that, but your parents would be super happy to hear from you and hear messages like that. I recommend everyone do that around the holidays, because I'll tell you, they will appreciate it. Even if you don't think they would and they don't say nothing, they'll still appreciate it, okay? So anyway, if you have a big family, right, and you do all that work, then you're feeding 1 million people, and it seems like it's worth it. When there's only 2 of us, it's me and my wife, right? And you're doing all this work, and you're like, and the other sad fact is there was no turkey left over. We had just enough for the 2 of us. The mashed potatoes were good, but we were like, there's not really, do we really want to save them? We didn't have any other meals planned where we could really eat the mashed potatoes with them. And the green bean casserole, we didn't like that much because the green beans were too crunchy, so we have no leftovers. So we did all that work, and we have no leftovers, at least with Thanksgiving, right? Thanksgiving, we put a ton of work into it, and then we had like 3 days of leftovers. So it was kind of worth it. But in this case, it really didn't feel like it was worth it at all. It felt like, man, we worked our butts off on Christmas to make this meal, and it was good at the moment, but man, it didn't seem like it was worth all the effort because there's nothing to speak of after the fact, right? So after that, after this elaborate Christmas dinner, basically, if you could believe it, I said to my wife, all right, well, first of all, this kind of sucks, but we definitely need to fold clothes. We've been washing clothes like all weekend, and we never folded them. So, like, my drawers are empty. I didn't even have a clean pair of underwear in my dresser to put on today. And I was like, we definitely got to fold clothes. So this way we'll have clothes for the week. And, of course, she's begrudgingly like, well, I guess you're right. We got to do it. So we folded clothes together to make it fast. Usually my wife would fold all the clothes, but I helped her this time. We got through it. We had Christmas music playing while we did it. And then, so what do you want to do? It's Christmas night, right? Well, let's watch Christmas stuff, right? My wife goes, nah, Christmas is basically over, so let's not watch. So we ended up watching 0 Christmas content this year. We didn't watch the Polar Express. We didn't watch the Muppet Christmas Carol. We didn't watch Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. We didn't watch a Claymation Christmas. We didn't watch the Charlie Brown Christmas. We didn't watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We didn't watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town. We didn't watch Jingle All the Way. We didn't watch Home Alone. We watched nothing. No Die Hard. Nothing. 0. So at least what I'm happy is I watched some stuff for myself and I reviewed it for you guys, right? Like I had watched Gremlins. I had watched Scrooge. I had watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I even watched a new movie that I'd never seen before, Christmas with the Cranks. So at least I got my Christmas fix before Christmas, because we watched absolutely no Christmas stuff on Christmas at all. So, there you go. And then after that, what do? We watched someone play the Bloodborne DLC. Yes, we started watching someone play the old Hunter's Bloodborne DLC. And we basically watched up through them going through the intro part, the first few hours, and get to the Ludwig boss and beat Ludwig. And let me tell you, for all the people that gave me shit many years ago about when I got to Ludwig and he kicked my ass and I rage quit that DLC, I don't think I've seen, because we've watched a few people play that DLC now, we haven't seen a single person easily get through that beginning part and beat Ludwig. This is another person, it took them like 2 hours to beat Ludwig, you know? That is a hard-ass boss. You know what I mean? Very, very tough. So, I'm happy that I went back later on and I replayed Bloodborne and I understood it better. And then when I got to Ludwig, I kicked his ass. Remember that? Well, man, you guys gave me so much shit when I first played it many, many years ago. But it's funny because everyone had a hard time their first time. That's one of the harder DLCs ever for, like, any game, right? It really is just really difficult. So anyway, you know, we watched that. We fast-forwarded through. We didn't watch, like, 2 hours of this person fighting the boss. But we fast-forwarded through that, and that was, I think that was that. Like I said, I had a few shots of peanut butter whiskey at night before I went to sleep. And that was about it. That was our Christmas. So our Christmas was nice. Like, don't get me wrong. Our Christmas was nice, but I do feel like the fact that we spent like 3.5 hours essentially cooking dinner and cleaning after it, and then we had to fold clothes, right? It kind of like took away. It would have been nice if we just had a day where we could have just done everything relaxing. But, you know, if you're going to have a big elaborate meal, someone's got to cook it. Someone's got to clean after it, and it's us. So, you know, it did take away from the day, I feel. But overall, I did enjoy having a day and a half away from streams and from work and everything. I had a great time with my wife. I always do. Whenever we spend time together, we have a great time. But it's funny because before I started the podcast this morning, someone said in the chat, I think it was Usagi Jojo, he says, you know, what you guys should really do is you should plan out time that you can like go to a cabin or something out there and spend like a few days together, and that way you don't have to worry about cooking and cleaning or whatever, you know. And I was like, you know, that would be nice, but there's a couple factors why we can't do that. Factor number one, we have a cat named Jasper Kitty. And if we were to go away for a few days, we'd have to find a way for him to get taken care of. Now, does that mean that we put him in a boarding thing? I mean, that might actually traumatize him. He's never been with anyone but us before, you know. Plus, those are expensive for what I'm to understand. Do we pay for like a house sitter to come by and for an hour or two a day play with him, feed him? He is very, very afraid of other humans than us. When we have people who come and visit the house for various reasons, like this year the Comcast guy came by, right? When he came by, Jasper runs for the hills and he hides under the bed and wants nothing to do with anyone. He just, you know what I mean? Like, he's afraid. He doesn't want to interact with other humans. He doesn't trust them. So I don't know how that would go down. That's number one. Number two, I just don't have the luxury of having multiple days away from work. You know, for example, this weekend was great, and I was happy to celebrate it because you guys were so supportive back during my Christmas marathon on Saturday. I got a bunch of extra tips, a bunch of extra memberships. Because of that extra, essentially, that I got that day, it allowed me to say, oh, well, now I have the next 1 to 2 days I'm not going to be streaming. It makes up for that. Essentially, the extra that I made on Saturday covers the fact that yesterday, or 2 days ago, you know, I only streamed half, and yesterday I didn't stream at all. It covers that. So now it's as if I did a normal week, basically, you know? Because that's the other weird thing, too. People are like, oh, you made so much. You made bank on the Christmas marathon. Yeah, and it basically spaces out because I didn't work for like 2 days after that, so it's just even. It breaks even as if it were a normal week, you know? It's not like I ran off like a bandit making tons of money. I'm happy for that. I'm grateful that you guys allowed me to do that, but how on earth would I have, like, how would I make enough extra to basically account for like a whole week away from streams? And to give you the perfect example of this, I was sick at the end of October. I had COVID. You know, I say probably because I had every symptom of COVID, but we didn't take a COVID test. So I guess it would be a little irresponsible to say I had COVID when I'm not 100% sure I did, but I'm pretty sure I had COVID, okay? It was really bad. I lost about a week of work, and when I came back, I mean, yeah, things went well, but the problem was I lost a week of work, and there's no way to make up for that. So I've been hurting since the end of October, and things have been tight and stuff. You know, this is the season when things should be up, right? Like, oh my God, views are up and income is up. I'm penny pinching, basically. You know, there was weeks when I was like, I don't know if I get the new game this week or whatever. You know, that sucks. It's stupid, but that's just what happens when you don't work for a week and you're self-employed like me. That's just a week you had zero income. You know, it's in the old days. It basically used to be that there was so much ad revenue to go around on YouTube. Like tons and tons of ad revenue. You have no concept. It was like 10 times stronger than today. That even if I was sick for a week, all the residual views and stuff I was getting on all my content would add up to so much ad revenue, it wouldn't even matter. It'd be like, you know, oh no, I lost a tiny little extra because I didn't upload this week, but so much other stuff brought in revenue, it didn't matter. Now it's very, very much the streams. These live streams, this is where I make the vast majority of all of my income. So if I didn't stream right now, I would go out of business. Like, no exaggeration, if I said I'm just going to become an offline YouTuber again like I used to be and just make on-demand videos, within a week, I'd be done. I wouldn't be able to pay anything. It's the streams that keep me alive. So if I'm not on stream, you know, how do I account for the fact that I want to take a whole week off to spend with my wife? Where's that money coming from, you know? So right now, we're not in that kind of a situation, because I know people say that kind of stuff. Oh, well, if Christmas isn't enough, why don't you take more time off? I can't right now. I would love to. In the future, it may be possible. You know, we're looking to, hopefully, in the next couple of years, get to a better situation financially. We can't right now. We're stuck, you know, because of everything that's happened in the United States with the government and interest rates and inflation. And I don't want to sit here and bitch about politics and stuff, but it really has negatively affected us, and that's stuff that's out of our control. We didn't make the economy tank. We didn't make interest rates triple in the last 2 years. That's the government and all kinds of shit going on that screwed everything up. Hopefully those things get better, and in the long run, things will get better. You know, we'll see. But for now, it is what it is. We enjoyed our 2 days or day and a half together. And now we're kind of back into the normal grind again. My wife's already at work and, you know, back to normality. It is what it is. But thank you all for allowing us to have that time by helping us and supporting us earlier this week. That's really appreciated because, again, it's very much because of you that we're able to do that kind of stuff. So thank you so very much for that. Okay? All right. So that's the holiday. Now, we'll talk about your holiday in a bit. What I feel we should do is go through the schedule. I want to tell you about my plans for 2024 because I think I have some good ideas. I'd like to hear your feedback. I want to talk about the Rockstar Games leaks, and then we'll get to the Q&A stuff and open stuff. So here's the deal. Here's the schedule. Let's get right to it. Today, Baldur's Gate 3 continuing on, and it looks like we were in the Spider Cave. I don't know if we're done with the Spider Cave because we beat 2 groups of spiders, including a boss, but I don't actually know if that's the end of it, or if there's more in there to do. So we'll have to see. But then after that, I don't know what's next. A lot of people have been saying you should go to the Goblin Camp next. So maybe we'll do that today. I don't know. But as you know, Baldur's Gate 3 been a great playthrough. A lot of interaction, a lot of engagement. I love that. I love that we're hanging out with each other and having a good time together as we play Baldur's Gate 3. I hope we keep that up. I really feel like if we do keep up the level of engagement and everything, that this will be one of the better playthroughs of the year. It's actually, I feel like we're actually getting better. Like, at first, I feel like I was flubbing through and not understanding the game. Now, we're almost 20 hours in. I feel like I am getting a better handle of it. And because of that, I think it's the playthrough just going to get better and better, especially with you guys still coming and hanging out with me. So, I think it should be great. We'll see what happens today, okay? Tonight, on the late night stream, it's a continuation of Like a Dragon Gaiden, my late night chill stream game. But it's going to be all story because we've actually spent so many streams just doing kind of the side content of it that at this point we've done it all. Like, there's really nothing left to do besides story advancement. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Then tomorrow, it's going to be more Baldur's Gate 3 because I told you guys I'm committing to getting a good amount of gameplay of this game in every week. Even this being a holiday week, I wanted to get around 9-10 hours in, so we are. We're doing more Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, the late night stream is going to be Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, okay? And I think we'll just be silly. We'll pick random loadouts. Maybe we'll go with dual akimbo handguns. Maybe we'll mix it up and do something different. Maybe some melee. I haven't done melee attacks in a while, and I was doing really good with the melee attacks, right? So we'll have a fun kind of mess around stream of Modern Warfare 3 tomorrow night. I'm off from streaming on Thursday, all right? That'll be my day to run errands and all the things that I didn't do over the last week during my time off. Now I've got to do it all on my day off. Then Friday, more Baldur's Gate 3 and Friday Night Fights, more Blanca and Street Fighter 6. Saturday, we're going to do Endgame of RoboCop. I don't know if we're going to beat it, but we're going to do a major stream of it and see how far we're getting it. And then Saturday night will be more Like a Dragon Gaiden, and we'll see how far we get. Again, I don't know how much is left in the game. Sunday will be our usual React show. And then Sunday night will likely be some variety. So maybe we'll do like Modern Warfare. If it looks like we're about to finish RoboCop, we might just do RoboCop on Sunday night to wrap it up, to finish it off. We'll see. And then basically what we're going to do is we're going to balance Baldur's Gate 3 with these other games till we finish them. All right? But you might say, well, then what's coming up next, right? Like, what's the next big thing once you wrap up RoboCop and you wrap up Like a Dragon Gaiden? Well, that's what we need to talk about. First of all, the year-end series, all right, is going to be fun. The year-end series are my Game of the Year awards, my most disappointing Games of the Year countdowns, and something new this year, which I really hope you guys will participate in because it's really your last few days to do so. The Viewer's Choice Best Playthroughs of 2023 Countdown. I have never done that before. This is a brand new, awesome idea that I feel would be really good to do because we get your feedback in this one. If you're interested in participating, type !best of 2023 into the chat right now. And what you can do is nominate what your favorite playthroughs were of the year. Okay? And basically, what I'm going to do is have you keep nominating for the next week. And then basically, over the weekend coming up, I'm going to tally up all of your nominations. Okay? I'm going to make a poll based on the most nominated games. And you guys are going to vote for a couple days. And that's going to determine what's in the countdown. So, come that first week of January, likely those, that first full week, which I think starts like January 5th or something like that, weeknights are going to be these countdowns. Instead of it being like a late night stream of whatever, it's actually going to be like one night will be the most disappointing games of the year countdown. I will outline 10 or 15 games that I was super disappointed with and why. And we'll actually field discussion on that. It's going to be like a fun night stream of that. And then one day, we'll do the Viewer's Choice Best Playthroughs of 2023, and we'll go through your picks, and maybe I'll take your thoughts on why you thought those were the best playthroughs. Now, the cool thing about your Viewer's Choice stuff, it could be very different from mine. For example, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now. I like the game, but likely we're not going to be far enough in the game by the end of the year for me to be like, oh yeah, Game of the Year. I could rank it as one of the best games, but I don't think it's going to be like my Game of the Year pick. I'm just being honest with you guys. Maybe a lot of you guys will think this playthrough is my best playthrough of the year, and you want to vote it in, right? We'll see. What about multiplayer games? Those almost never make my Game of the Year awards, but you could say it's some of your favorite playthroughs of the year. What about retro playthroughs? Like in the last year, I played Resident Evil 1. I played Chrono Trigger, right? Those are throwback playthroughs, and I'm not going to say those are my favorite games of the year, but you could say your favorite playthroughs, right? So, there you go. Please consider nominating, and all that stuff's coming up that first week of January, all right? Now, once we beat RoboCop, okay? Once we beat Like a Dragon Gaiden, and once the schedule frees up, because then it's just going to be Baldur's Gate 3 and some Street Fighter 6 and some Modern Warfare 3, right? Here's my ideas, and you guys can agree or disagree, but basically, I need to know if this sounds good to you, if these are games that you would be interested in and be invested in, you want to show up and engage with them, support them, and you want to see in January. But also, I'm curious if these are games that would have time enough to play them. Because if you were here for my gaming schedule update, which we just did on Saturday, the video's live on the channel, by the way. It's about an hour long. And what we discovered is that in January, there's almost nothing whatsoever in the realm of new releases till the end of the month. In fact, I'm going to open up the schedule right here. Literally, the only games coming out in January, super normal, is January 8th, and it's some kind of an indie horror game on PC, and no one knows if it's good yet. It's just a possibility because I have a mini PC now. And Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is the remake or restarting of the whole Prince of Persia franchise, and it plays like the old school 2D games. That comes out January 18th, but it plays like an old school 2D platformer game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's really going to be that crazy of a game. So, really, the big two games coming out in January are Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and Tekken 8, and they both come out January 26th. That essentially gives us the entire month of January to play whatever. All right? And I'm excited for that. I hope that you guys are too. But what do you want to do besides Baldur's Gate 3? Well, here's my ideas. All right? Idea number one And this would be the game to replace the late night chill streams. All right? My first idea is essentially a game that I've actually been very interested in and I missed out on in 2023 for various different reasons. But now, this game has gotten mass recognition and accreditation. This is a game that won Indie Game of the Year at the Game Awards. The game I'm talking about is Sea of Stars. The game that everyone says is kind of the spiritual successor to Chrono Trigger, right? And I didn't play it because it came out when I was already playing Chrono Trigger on my mini PC. And I kind of feel like I've missed out on a great, great game because I was doing other stuff. All right? It's on Game Pass. I could easily play this at any time. And I feel like because it's a kind of a game that plays like an older school RPG, we should do it on a late night chill stream. We'll do it once we beat Like a Dragon Gaiden. It'll be the late night chill stream. So that's what will replace Like a Dragon Gaiden. This would not be like a daytime stream. Maybe we would do like 1 day stream of it just to start it. But I don't think that's going to be something that would work as a daytime stream. I think that's more of a late night crowd game. However, I don't know how long it is. So if you guys could give me information, how long is it? Do you think that if I played it during the this month as the late night game that I balanced with, say, Street Fighter 6 and some Modern Warfare here or there, would I be able to get through it and finish it? If it's like a 50-hour game, then that's a no. If it's like a 20-hour game, then it's a yeah, right? So I guess that's the question. How long actually is the game? I don't know. Okay? So about 30 hours, is that true? Is it about a 30-hour long game? If that's the case, then if we finished Like a Dragon Gaiden by like the first week of January, then we probably would have enough time. Because you figure if I'm doing, let's say I was playing it like 5 hours a week, right? Then but by the end of the month, we're 20 plus hours in. We're near the end, right? Sea of Stars is about 28 hours in length. Okay. Okay. So that's one suggestion, and I'd like your feedback on that. I'm going to be honest, I'm very interested in that. I love Chrono Trigger. It won Indie Game of the Year. Like, there's multiple reasons for me to check out this game. It's not just my own desire. It's like there's other reasons, too, correct? So there you go. That's number one. Okay. Number two. The other game that I'm really interested in actually is a game that at one point we were actually going to play it this year. And for some reason it didn't happen. And then we were going to play it again for another reason. And then we also didn't play it again then. So basically this is a game that we already had kind of interested in and lined up twice. And then for whatever reason we never got around to it. However, this is not a new game. This is a game from back in the past. I have played this game before. But only once. And it was a long time ago. It was a different era of content for me. It was very different than the kind of content that I do now. All right? And I'm excited to play it again because people have said to me that they would actually like to see me do a second run of it. All right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is something that you guys want to see right now. This is my idea. Okay? So the game that I would say I'm interested in playing, it's also a genre of game. A genre of game that you guys really like to see me play. You've outright said this before, that you absolutely love it when I play this particular genre of game. And one of the most disappointing things I think that is going to happen in 2024 is that sadly it looks like this genre of game is for the most part going to be forgotten. It looks to me like this is a genre that for some reason no one's really making anything for. Right? So the game that, this is my idea. You could disagree, and it's okay if you disagree. I want to hear your feedback. I think a game playthrough that would be great, that I could do it over January. It's a great time for this kind of a game. Would be, ready? Hold on. It would be Resident Evil 0. Which I've only played once ever, like a decade ago. And I actually don't remember the game. Oh, shit. I don't really remember it at all. Okay, and people said that they actually liked that playthrough, but I don't really remember it. So is it any good? Would it be exciting? Is it rage inducing? I don't remember it. Okay. We were actually supposed to play this earlier this year, and then for some reason we didn't. And then we were going to play it during the Halloween marathon, and then the Halloween marathon didn't happen. So like multiple times we had this lined up and we never played it. Okay? So that's what I'm thinking. Now you could, if you disagree, if you actually think that would not be good, all right, then let me know. But I felt like that could be kind of neat because it's one I've only played once before. The last time I played it, I was not an interactive live streamer. I was more just playing games for myself. So now actually being an interactive live streamer with full face cam and everything, it would actually be a much better playthrough, I feel. So I think it would be pretty fun. Now, if you disagree with that, we don't have to do it. There's other things we could do. Or maybe you would prefer if I did something different, like a different Resident Evil or something like that. There's other options. You know, January could be like, I also don't know how long Resident Evil 0 is. We could do like Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Or if you disagree with that, maybe we could do, get this. How about a game that I've never played besides when it was a new release? How about Resident Evil 6? Right? Which I only played as a co-op playthrough at launch, and that was it, and I never played it ever again. Right? So, I have all these different ideas, but I feel like I should do... Wow, I got a tickle in my throat. I feel like I should do survival horror over the course of January because there's really no survival horror, if you're not aware, in this year. There's that Alone in the Dark game, but that game basically has been delayed multiple times. No one really knows what the hell it's going to be, and no one knows if it's going to be any good. It's supposed to come out in like late March now. But like survival horror seems like it's absolutely going to be forgotten. Like no one's going to be playing survival horror games this year, right? So I'm kind of feeling like maybe, yeah, we should do Resident Evil stuff in January because survival horror balanced with Baldur's Gate would be like perfect. Like what a contrast. Not even close to being the same. No one could possibly say I'm playing too much of the same main games when we got this slow-paced narrative RPG balanced with survival horror classics, right? That's what I'm thinking anyway. So, please give me your feedback. That's what I'm thinking, all right? If you have better suggestions, I'm all ears. But the way I would approach it is, you know, this week it's Baldur's Gate. Next week we balance Baldur's Gate with RoboCop, and hopefully we finish RoboCop, okay? That first week of January, it's Baldur's Gate balanced with the conclusion of Like a Dragon Gaiden and my year-end series, plus some Street Fighter and you know, Modern Warfare and stuff like that thrown in. And then once the year-end series are done, that's when we start up with new stuff, with Sea of Stars, Resident Evil 0, or another classic Resident Evil, something like that, okay? So that's what I'm thinking. That's my thoughts for January, and that'll take us through January until we get to the end of the month and the new releases. But let me know. I want feedback. If you absolutely disagree with this, I want to hear that you disagree. But the other thing is, don't just say, oh, I totally don't want that. By the way, I have no suggestions whatsoever of what you should do, but I just don't want that. That's worthless. It really is. It's worthless feedback. If you don't want that, let me know what you think would work. And then we can talk about that, right? Then we can figure this out. But I feel like this is a good balance for the month. I do. I feel like having more throwback classic, challenging survival horror, balanced with this modern RPG that everyone wants to see, plus an indie game that I missed out on that everyone says is great, plus some multiplayer tossed in there. I think that's a great balance for the month. So there you go. All right. Now, I also may have some other stuff in the works, but I'm not going to spoil on anything yet. All right. I'll just say that. Perhaps there'll be a little bit more of interesting stuff that we will discuss soon. All right. But not right now. Okay. That's the schedule. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would just like to take a quick moment to remind all of you, as I cancel out this ad, because I want to talk to you for a second, so I'm canceling an ad that was about to play on the stream, that I rely on crowdfunding to make my living. That is how I actually support my business, is through crowdfunding. It's not paid product placements. It's not paid promotions on a stream. It's not click this referral code and buy a shitty product and make me a few extra bucks. It's not let me sit here and shill and advertise to you constantly. It's your support during streams primarily is what keeps me afloat. So if you like this content, if you've enjoyed this podcast, if you enjoyed all my holiday stuff, if you're looking forward to everything that I just mentioned to you, and you think that this could particularly be something interesting in the future, okay, let me know by supporting the stream in one of these following ways. Memberships. Right now we're at 687 members. We were over 700. In fact, we were at 720 members the other day. And I went on Christmas break, and I come back, and we're at 687. I've had enough. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It would be nice to get back to 700 today, considering the fact we have a full-length Baldur's Gate 3 stream, and we have a nice Like a Dragon Chill stream later today. It would be great if we could get back to 700 members today. So please consider becoming a member, or maybe consider gifting some memberships. Listen, I know Christmas is over, but the season of giving continues, all right? And people around here will be very appreciative of receiving a gifted membership. I'm very sure of that. So please consider maybe gifting some memberships to the channel. You know, super chats, super stickers, all great. Super thanks on a video. Thank you for those. Tips are great right now. We will actually have the tip goals. Well, let me put it this way. Yes and no, we will. If we hit $100 in tips today, I will absolutely put on a hat, but I'm not going to be wearing a vest over a cardigan. All right? I'm not going to dress up like I'm the freaking kid, the little brother from the Christmas Story who can't even move because he has so many things on as he goes outside because his mom is overprotective. But we will still have some tiered rewards if we hit those goals. So please consider tipping. It helps a lot. My day off is just around the corner. Yes, tips would absolutely help for that day. Again, grocery shopping, pet supplies, and other things I need to do. It's all the liquidity I have is from tips during these streams. So if you could tip today, that support would be greatly appreciated. Okay? There you have it. That's all I'm going to say. There you have it. I'm not going to talk about this all day long. All right? So continuing on, let's now do a little segment that I like to say is my favorite segment of the show. I would like to think that it's your favorite segment of the show, because you tell me that it is. It's a segment that I like to call DSP News, and during this segment, we talk about news. And the one big piece of news that we have to discuss today is the Rockstar leaks. And these leaks are based off of the fact that a hacker hacked Rockstar about a year ago. It was that same kid that he's not a kid anymore. I think he's 18 now. But basically, this is the person who hacked Rockstar and leaked all of those assets for GTA 6 all over the internet. And now it just dumped like all the data. Like the data had basically been mostly hidden, but now it just leaked. Okay? So you ready for this? Grand Theft Auto 5 source code that was stolen by the GTA 6 hacker was leaked. So the entire source code for GTA 5 is apparently on the internet. Alright? This code showed something called Rockstar's Rage engine, which I believe is their graphical engine or whatever the games are running on. So that's been leaked on the internet. It showed an early version of the GTA 5 map, which is very different from the one that ended up being the final GTA 5 map. That's kind of interesting, right? It actually showed, get this, Bully 2. It confirms 100% that Bully 2 was in development. It actually was being made. And they canceled it. Okay? It also showed that GTA 5 had a series of DLCs planned for it. All single-player content. Okay? Including a DLC called Agent Trevor that ended up becoming the Doomsday Heist in GTA Online. A prologue DLC that was going to be a full North Yankton expansion explaining the backstory of Michael and Trevor and their criminal group as they were basically planning that big bank heist that opens up GTA 5. Liberty 5. They were actually going to have a Liberty City expansion for GTA 5 where characters go to Liberty City and have missions and stuff going on in Liberty City. All of this was already in development. 100%. They were making it. Okay? In addition to all of that, Because that's not even the worst of it, in my opinion. All right? It was also revealed they were working on the possibility of other games. They were probably going to make another Midnight Club racing game, perhaps. All right? They were actually in the early development cycle for making some kind of Grand Theft Auto based in Tokyo, Japan. Okay? And then it was actually revealed they had 8, yes, that's correct, 8 different story DLCs planned for GTA 5. 8 DLC. So you thought, oh, The Lost and Damned and The Ballad of Gay Tony were great DLCs for GTA 4. They were going to make 8 of those. Okay? So you might say, I don't get it. What happened? Right? Why didn't they make any of that content? GTA Online. Because there's all this evidence that basically when GTA Online essentially started printing them money, they never saw that happening. They thought GTA Online would have some kind of success, but that it would be kind of a side project for a side group of developers to work on, and then all their core developers would continue to make the great single-player content that had always been the staple of Rockstar games. But when GTA Online started becoming so popular and had all these people playing it and dumping money into the microtransactions, they rerouted some efforts. And then when it got bigger, they rerouted more efforts, and they rerouted more efforts. In fact, it's rumored that the only reason that Red Dead Redemption 2 actually did come out is because it already had been further in development than any of their other projects. So essentially, for them to pull the plug on Red Dead Redemption 2 and say, just work on GTA Online, would have cost them more money than it was worth. They already had too much time and money invested in it at that point, you see? But basically, if they had had their way, they would have literally just canceled every single possible thing that they were working on at that studio and only made GTA Online content because it was making them so much money. This is a classic case of where art essentially suffers because of commercialism, profits, right? Because when you really look at video games, yes, absolutely, they're supposed to be products to be sold for profit. We all know. I mean, that's how they get financed. No one's making a video game and says, oh, by the way, here, just have it for free because I like making games. Okay, maybe that does exist. Maybe there's some indie games that do that, right? But any of these big budget games, we all know that that's how it works. They have to make money while they're also providing some kind of an artistic experience to humanity, right? Ideally, you want a balance of both. You want something that's an amazing gameplay experience, an artistic experience that's meaningful to society and culture, but also makes money for the company, all right? What ended up happening was GTA Online became so profitable, they literally forgot the fact that they were actually game creators. They didn't care. They were rolling in so much money that they didn't feel like it would matter. They basically, it kind of is the same deal what happened with Epic Games and Fortnite, right? What has Epic Games actually done since they started making money with Fortnite? I mean, they bought a couple studios. Like, they bought the Fall Guys studio. And what happened? Fall Guy fell into disrepair and now is almost dead, right? They made a store to distribute games on PC, the Epic Games Store. What else have they done? Did they make another game that was good? No, because Fortnite essentially makes all the money. So why would they bother doing anything else? And this is the sad fact that these great game companies, right, just seem to get almost corrupted by money. Rockstar didn't used to be about that. And then when GTA Online came out, there was a complete flip in management and direction, and that's all they care about. And I hate to say it, but I have to say it. And I know a lot of you are going to be upset with me, but I don't care because you know me, I'm an honest guy. Every single person out there who's played GTA Online in the last decade, and you invested insane amounts of time and money into it, you have to understand you have to take part of the responsibility for the fact that Rockstar didn't make content for 10 years. You know that, right? Like, if you wanted GTA 5 expansions, and you wanted Bully 2, and you wanted Midnight Club, and you wanted all this other content, the fact that you were sitting there on GTA Online spending all of your time in it, dumping money into it constantly, that's why those games and expansions do not exist. That's why we're a decade later and we still don't have GTA 6. Because I hate to say it, people don't want to live with the consequences of their own actions. They want to feel like they can do whatever they want, and they have absolutely no responsibility whatsoever. And that's wrong. That's not correct. That's a factually wrong statement. It doesn't matter how much you want to pretend, but the truth is there's cause and effect in life. If you behave in a certain way and you reward certain behaviors, those behaviors will continue. Okay? Why do you think it is that Nintendo, as a game development company, ignores its fans all the time? Because no matter what Nintendo puts out, the rabid fan base goes and buys it up and slurps it up and douses them with money. For how long do people say, we want Switch Plus, Switch Pro, we want a better Switch because the Switch sucks, the quality is bad, we need a better graphics engine, we need or a better graphics card in there, we need more powerful processor, more RAM, we want a better screen, better controls, we need to have a Nintendo console that's on par with everyone else. What does Nintendo put out? The Switch OLED. Literally the same exact console with a couple minor tweaks, but you bought it if you're a Nintendo fanboy, right? So will Nintendo ever listen to your feedback? No, because they know that you're basically gullible. You'll buy whatever. Because of the purchases decisions of Nintendo fans, Nintendo will not listen to fan feedback. They know that people will still spend no matter what, so they don't have to listen. It's the same thing with Rockstar. Directly through people's actions for a decade, what Rockstar found out is that it doesn't matter what they make. They just have to make stuff that prints money, and people will keep coming back. It didn't matter that they didn't make GTA 5 expansions. It didn't matter that they dropped all their other franchises that they had in development. Bully 2 would have been amazing. And they were like, oh well, since people are going to pay us for this other stuff that's easy to develop, might as well just keep making the easy to develop shit and rolling in our money. And that's literally what they did for 10 years. And everyone's like, gee, I wonder when the next game's coming out. And then they would boot up GTA Online and buy another car. All right? Now listen. If you're okay with that, then that's fine. But there's so many people who are like such hypocrites. They're the biggest bitchers on the planet. Oh my God, I can't believe GTA 6 still isn't out. Yet you're still playing GTA Online. You're part of the problem. You're literally one of the big reasons why. You have contributed to the degradation of gaming culture. Do you understand that? Just like the people who just sit around playing Fortnite all day. There's nothing wrong with playing Fortnite at all. Enjoy the game for what it is. But if all you do is sit around and play Fortnite, broadcast Fortnite, spend money on Fortnite, and act like Fortnite is the end-all be-all of gaming, you are a detriment to gaming culture as a whole. Do you understand that? You are. Same thing for people who only play Call of Duty. All I do is play Warzone all day. So you're a detriment to gaming culture as a whole because you refuse to broaden your horizons. You only act like that's the only pertinent thing. How many content creators who only play Call of Duty then scream, oh, there were no new games this year that were any good? They're morons. From their very narrow worldview perspective, they refuse to look around them at all the insanely good games that came out in 2023, and instead they just complain that there were no good FPSs. Then fucking play something else and stop being an asshole who only tries to make money on FPS games because that's all you're good at. Actually, use your brain a little bit. But that's the problem with so many people is that they just hyper-focus on the one thing that's easy, the one thing that somehow is a payday for them or whatever. And that's the absolute positive wrong way to go about all this. It just is. As gamers that are now getting older, we have to be more responsible with what we promote, with what we buy, with what we say is good. Because we have to be careful that we're pushing this upon a generation that's very gullible, that believes everything we say, and that will just consume on a command. Right? Do you really think Fortnite would have been as popular as it was if there weren't so many capitalistic streamers jumping on it, dyeing their hair to look like cartoon characters, acting like fools, and trying to make money off of children? No, it never would have been that big or popular. It's because people are predators. All right? Same thing with GTA Online. This is a thing. It was an online community of people. At first, it made sense. Then all of a sudden, you get people who are constantly streaming, the role-playing, this, that, Everyone's got to buy this car. Everyone's got to do this heist. Everyone's got to... It becomes an online culture, a predatory culture. And next thing you know, all people care about is what people are telling you is good, rather than actually looking past that. Say, wait a minute. It's been 5 years. Why is there no content coming out from Rockstar yet? What is going on? Duh. And then you spend another $100 on the next crib, right? It's like, so what did you think was going to happen? That's exactly what happens. We all have to take responsibility for our actions. Me as a content creator, I try to cover a variety of stuff for you guys because I feel like that's the responsible thing to do, and to tell you honestly what I think about it, right? When I played GTA Online at first, I did not like it. I played it again. I did the first heist, and I actually thought the first heist was decent, but I wasn't in love with it, and I was like, I could see the potential, but I could also see how this is a huge time waster. It reminded me of like those virtual online communities like Second Life or old, remember PS Home? That's what it reminded me of. So how the fuck did it become so popular? Because of content creators. That's why. If there was no generation of content creators to tell you that this very, very drivel level shit was good, no one would be playing it. People would have played GTA Online for a year and dropped it and moved on to the next thing. But because you get this entire online community of content creation and pushing it for profits and getting paid to shill, that's why we are where we are. That's why we haven't had a good Rockstar game in 10 years, besides Red Dead 2, which was good, but that was already in development. Everything else was dropped because of this. And that's fucking pathetic. What's going to happen is gaming culture, sadly, is going to become a situation where the only games that anyone plays are the ones that make the most money, regardless if they're actually good, regardless if there's a good story or anything like that. How many games out there have terrible stories, but people are playing the fuck out of them anyway? Why? Oh, it's addictive. Yeah, but is it addictive because you actually like the gameplay, or because everyone's playing it online and you want to be a part of that community too? And I get that, but you have to understand that that's a slippery slope that you don't want to go down, because if everyone just plays games because they're popular, that's when everything becomes shit. We have been saying very recently about YouTube, we just talked about this on my React show recently, did we not? That why does everything on YouTube seem fake and the same? Because YouTubers have found a way to create produced content that's completely fake, but follows the same formula. And everyone watches, digests it, and these people become millionaires making that garbage content. But people are too fucking dumb to realize what they're watching is fake. They think it's good, real content, and they continue to watch and support it because they're stupid. And we have a growing population of people on Earth that are dumb and just believe everything they're told. They don't realize they're watching a paid advertisement when they're watching a product placement in a video, or someone being paid to play a game, or paid to advertise a game in a possible way. You know what I mean? Like, this is bad. People need to wake the fuck up. GTA Online is currently the textbook case. Now that we have this data, this concrete data, that Rockstar was going to make all these great artistic works in games, and they were all canceled because people wanted to play drivel for 10 years. That's bad. We need to actually use this as the case example to say we have to stop this behavior. It's not just about what's popular for money anymore. It's actually about improving fucking people's brains and humankind. And remember when games used to be challenging and fun and different, and you get a meaning out of you played a game? Now you play a game, it's like you're just fucking around, man. Right? Oh, I turned on GTA Online today. I fucked around. I dropped some money, by the way, but I fucked around in it. What the fuck? Then you'll never get anything good. And it's the same thing with Warzone, all these repetitive, nonsensical games that are just gaming for the sake of gaming to feel like you're part of this big thing on the internet now. Enough of this shit. It's time to grow the fuck up and grow some brains for ourselves and actually start acting like responsible humans rather than just going with the flow and being like a cow chewing your cud or a sheep following a fucking mentality that everyone tells you to have because they make money when you do. Why do you think they tell you that? I have skipped Grand Theft Auto Online for the most part. I played it at launch, and I played the first heist, and that was it. That's literally the extent that I played GTA Online. Did I miss out on anything? Can you name one thing that happened in GTA Online in the last 10 years that was so culturally important for gamers as a whole that the fact that I didn't play GTA Online that I really missed out? Name one fucking thing. I rest my fucking case. You made these people rich. You ruined gaming culture. 0 games came out of Rockstar besides the one that was in development, and we all suffered because people were dumb. And it will continue. Nintendo will do the same. Call of Duty and Activision will do the same. Madden will come out with a game every year that's trash. These patterns will continue until, as consumers, we wise up and we stop rewarding mediocrity for the sake of being part of a virally popular thing because you're told to do it because people capitalize on your bad decisions. Wake up. I clicked the wrong thing. Son of a bitch. Okay. All right. I said my piece on this. Let us now move on and get the shout-outs because it's late. Because I ranted too long on that. Okay? I didn't mean to click on. People are like, oh, did he end the podcast abruptly? No, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay. Let's continue, shall we? So, shout-outs on the YouTube side. We have Dr. Oink who did a super chat. He says you should give Remnant 2 a go. It would be great. I'm not too interested in that, honestly. It's another one of these kind of FromSoft style games. I've heard that it's perfectly fine, but at the same time, I'm just not interested in playing one of those right now. I think Lies of P was the best one of the last year, and I don't feel like jumping into another one. Yurichi, re-upping their membership and saying, hope everyone got what they wanted for Christmas. Thank you, Yurichi. I did. I got time with my family, and I actually got some nice presents, one of them which I'm wearing right now. So there you go. Okay. Cool. Let us now do some shout-outs. It looks like overnight, I actually received a $5 tip from Axel. Excuse me, that's absolutely disgusting. I'm sorry for that belch. I did not mean to do that. It completely took me by surprise, so I apologize again. I'm trying to get my animations to play, but for some reason, it's like super lagged. Wow, that is insanely laggy. There we go. Wow, it took forever. Okay. Wait, is it frozen? No, it's not. Okay. So, Axel with our first tip of the day, a $5 tip. Thank you so much, Axel. And Axel says the following. Hey, Phil, I've been really enjoying your Baldur's Gate 3 streams. Thank you for sticking with it. I hope everyone keeps supporting you and helping you with the game. I hope you, Kat, and Jasper had a great Christmas. Keep up your great content. Thank you so very much, Axel. The kind words, the contribution. I hope you had a great Christmas as well. I received a $2.25 tip from Mr. Puffy Nipples. Any restaurant open on Christmas? We didn't even bother cooking for Christmas. We went out for dinner. Probably Asian restaurants, because most Asian cultures do not celebrate the holiday of Christmas. At least in the capacity that we do. Like in Japan, they celebrate it, but for them, it's more like Valentine's Day. Like, that's actually how they equate it, you know? Well, thank you for the tip. I received a $1 tip from Adam. I absolutely love the idea of more Resident Evil. Resident Evil 0 is tedious with character switching, but it's still good. Yeah. Again, I want your feedback. Thank you. If you think Resident Evil 0 is the right one, let's do it. If you think a different Resident Evil is the right one, let's do it. Let's get that feedback going. I'd absolutely love to hear everyone's feedback. Thank you, Adam, for the feedback. I received a $1. Hold on. A $1.09 tip. Someone says, I would suggest Pizza Tower for January. Only around a 7 to 8 hour long game, unless you actually try to 100% it. It's a game you missed out on. I've seen it being recommended in the chat. I'm not against that. Is it PC only? I could play it. I'm not against that. I don't know anything about this Pizza Tower game. I know people have mentioned it as like it's one of the games that at one point I guess streamers were playing. And it got like virally popular for a while. But I'm not against that suggestion if you guys think that that's something that I would be interested in. I don't know anything about it at all. Like, I don't know what it is. Is it I think someone had said that it was like a platformer or something like that. It's like Wario Land 4? Is it now? Hold on. Okay. All right. Cool. Sorry, I got distracted by a couple emails that popped in there. So Wario Land, here's the thing about Wario Land. I've only ever played Wario Land 1, I want to say, on the Game Boy. I know exactly what it is, and I know that the games are great. But you say, oh, it's like Wario Land 4. I have no idea what the changes were from like the early Wario Land games to the much later ones. So I know what Wario Land 1 is, right? That's all I know. So again, hey, if that's something you guys are interested in and you'd like to see me possibly play it in January, let me know. I'm okay with that. If it is something unique and different and it fits into the variety of my schedule, sure. Pizza Tower, let's look into it. I received a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man, who says Featherfall is very useful to avoid fall damage. Also, the actor feat can give you the edge to avoid combat. Featherfall we saw, and I think it said 0 fall damage, right? Like or very dramatically reduced fall damage. I guess what that means, you could basically like jump wherever you want and not take much damage. So I could definitely see the advantage of that. Actor feat, I feel like we saw that too, right? When we were looking at the different feats. So basically you could just escape combat whenever you want. See, here's the thing though. I don't know if I want to escape combat. I'm going to be honest. Especially with the style of game that Baldur's Gate 3 is, where every fight is essentially handcrafted, right? This is not a random encounter RPG, where the more you walk around, you get annoying random encounters that just piss you off, right? Like, I don't feel like I would want to avoid any encounters if I could avoid, if I could get everyone and beat everyone, I would want to do that, right? Unless there's actually an encounter that's meant to be skipped, which I haven't seen yet. It looks like they're all meant to be fought, right? So, here's the thing. If I was playing like a Final Fantasy game where the random encounters were just way too annoying, and you could just, you have an ability to just instantly escape certain ones, that makes sense to me. But the ability to escape encounters when these are scripted events that you're supposed to kind of beat, I don't really see the point of skip, especially because you want the stats, right? You want the experience, you want the loot. It's not like this is a waste of your time. Again, if you're playing an old-style RPG with insane amounts of random encounters, you might feel like the grinding is a waste of your time. But in this case, I feel like these fights are all very meaningful, right? So, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But again, maybe not. I mean, it's up to you. Thanks for the suggestion. Maybe Featherfall should be something I should look into. Lies of Her Soul, re-upping his membership for 7 months since there's a limited amount of experience in each act. So are you saying that at certain points you would stop getting experience even if you kept fighting? Really? Now that's different. I've never heard of anything like that in an RPG before. Huh. Didn't someone say maximum level is level 15? After that, there's no more leveling. That's it, right? Like level 15 is the cap. And then after that, you can't ever increase your stats anymore, right? Oh, it's level 12, people are saying. Okay. So I'm level 4. I'm already about a third through the leveling that's possible in the game. Okay. You'll still get experience past your level cap, but you won't get anything out of it. I see. Okay. Huh. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. Jade says he went to his dad's house. It was good on Christmas Eve. On Christmas, there was rain outside. He got Madden 24 and Ace Attorney Apollo Justice Trilogy. Yeah, that just came out, right? The Apollo Justice Trilogy, and you really like those games. That's cool. I'll see you tonight, Jade. I know you don't really care about Baldur's Gate. You want to hang out for Like a Dragon, right? Sounds good. I'm glad you had a great Christmas. Some good presents there. There you go. Iron Man the Power says he got Lego sets, clothes, shoes, a Simpsons 2044 calendar, an Assassin's Creed Mirage, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Hogwarts Legacy, Spider-Man 2, and Cyberpunk 2077. Dude, you got a ton. You got a ridiculous amount of stuff. You'll be playing games for months now. Damn. Well, congrats. That's a good haul. A great haul, actually. Derek says, for the new Karate Kid movie, they're looking for an actor between the ages of 15 and 17 who speak fluent English, but also conversational Mandarin, has some kind of knowledge of martial arts, gymnastics, or dance experience. Conversational Mandarin? Is it because they want him to be able to talk to Jackie Chan? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they want the kid to be able to have conversations with Jackie Chan who really cannot speak English. Huh. I mean, I don't know, man. You're 15 to 17, but can speak conversational Mandarin. Might narrow down your pool by 99%. I'm just saying, like, that's pretty tough, huh? Yes, Ralph Macchio was, like, in his 20s when he played, the kid from Karate Kid. And by the way, no, he did not know conversational Mandarin when he played the role, just for the record. Okay. I received another $1.10 tip. Pizza Tower is PC only, but it should run on your PC well. It is on sale right now until the 4th of January. It's worth giving it a shot as a unique platformer. All right, so we got about a little over a week to talk about it and figure out if it's something you guys want or not. You guys let me know what you think. If that sounds like something different you'd like to see on the streams. I have no idea if there's any interest in that. That's the first time I'm even considering it. So, you guys let me know. You got a PS Portal and a new iPhone. Damn! You guys cleared house with some of that stuff. The PS Portal and a new iPhone, that's like $1,500. You realize that, right? Fallen Angel says, I got my gaming PC early. I got Mistborn Era 2-box set, Mansion of Madness board game, 2 Star Wars board games, Alan Wake 2, and a glass Pokemon ball with a crystal Mew inside. You guys are crazy. How'd you get all this? That's wild. All right, Derek's taking off. He says he's going to visit his relatives tonight. They were busy during Christmas. Enjoy. Be safe. You got a new private jet? Oh, how nice. I got a yacht and a private island, says Amplitory. Oh, yeah? I now own the entire country of Somalia, just so you guys know. I don't know if you guys heard, but I'm the new Somalian ruler, supreme commander. It's a pretty awesome gift. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. What the hell am I going to do with Somalia? I have no idea. But, Zen Shuriken says, I got a rock. Well, you know what? The rock's probably more useful. You can probably, throw it and hit something with it, right? Immediately, you can use it for something. John, it's good to have you here today. Oh, man. All right, we got just a couple minutes if you guys want to talk about anything. A few extra minutes to chat before we will jump into Baldur's Gate 3 for today. Remember, we're in the Spider Cave, and I actually don't know. I assume I should keep investigating because we didn't really investigate it after the fight ended. We ran out of time. So I guess first order of effect would be to search the cave for items and other things in there, right? And then move on from there, see what we want to do. Thank you, Fallen Angels. We did have a great Christmas. Yes. I talked about it earlier, so. How was Christmas for my parents? Pretty good. We called them on Christmas Eve, and they'd actually said that they were going to have a small, ham. I think they said they were making a small ham. My mom had made the traditional Christmas strips, which is what she calls them. It's a Polish dessert, and she had made a bunch of those. They had actually bought some Taroni candies, which they love. And then it was hilarious because I said to them, what about panettone? That's what we used to have all the time, the Italian bread. And my mom goes, oh, yeah, don't we have that? And my dad goes, wait a minute. And he opens the closet and he goes, it's right here. We forgot to take it out. So on the phone, because I mentioned it, they took a panettone bread out and started cutting it up and eating it on the phone. So they were very happy that I mentioned that. They were like, no, seriously, if you hadn't told us, we wouldn't have had the panettone. We forgot we had it in the closet. So there you go. Pretty cool. So I think they had a good Christmas. I'll find out. I call them every weekend, so I'll call them next weekend. But I called them on Christmas Eve to find out what they were up to. So. Did I encounter any skeletons on Christmas? I don't think so. No. Pretty sure I didn't encounter any skeletons. And I had no nonsense because I wasn't online. Like I said, I was paying no attention to any bullshit online. I completely ignored all of it, and it worked out really well because I was just able to have a nice day with my family and not be distracted by bullshit. So it was great. Well, Orange, thank you. Orange likes my outfit. So this was my Christmas present for my wife, this sweater. A lot of people are saying it's a cardigan. I don't actually know technically what a cardigan is. So if it's a cardigan, great. I like it, though. It's very comfy. The only bummer is because of the sun outside, I'm kind of hot. And there's nothing I can do about that because the sun is beating outside and won't go away today. But it is what it is. Prisoner got Baldur's Gate 3 for Christmas. Awesome. Little Shake and Bake did a super chat. So I got an Impractical Joker shirt, electric shaver, hair straightener, a striped polo shirt, Beats headphones, a Mario toy, and a new pair of jeans. You got a ridiculous amount of stuff. You guys get crazy hauls. The question I got for you is, how old are you? No, I'm serious because I'm not even kidding. As soon as I hit my 20s, that was it. Like, when I hit my 20s, I just stopped getting stuff for Christmas. It's like, no one thinks about giving me presents when I'm in 20s. I'm serious. Like, you know, my parents, I go to my parents' house. We'd have dinner or whatever. You know, maybe we would exchange some very minor things, and that was about it. You guys get crazy amount of gifts. I didn't get these gifts. As soon as I hit adulthood, that was it. That was it. It was like, yo, you're not a child anymore. There's no more Santa, right? You don't get shit. It's crazy how you guys say, well, you got a million things. Damn, you guys are lucky. I will say this because, I've mentioned this over the last week. Enjoy it while you can. Be grateful while you have it. Because you won't really understand it till it's gone. You know, I definitely today miss the years when I was young and I had a big family. I got together and we all exchanged gifts and we had that family time around Christmas because now I don't have that and I miss it. I really do. But the thing is, you don't really value stuff till you don't have it anymore. So, enjoy it now. Really, enjoy it now. Fallen Angel says, I'm 33 now, but my wife and our close two friends spoil me still. Well, there you go. That's nice. I would say I got spoiled. I was expecting nothing. I literally was not expecting any gifts this Christmas, and I got 2 really nice gifts from my wife, and I was very appreciative. You know? I'm going to wear this one all the time during the months when I can. I really like this. It's comfy. This I could wear out, too, because it's zippable. It's like a thing you can wear outdoors, but indoors, too. It's really nice. Okay. All right. I think it's time for us to end the show for today. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And swing into Baldur's Gate 3. And I hope that you all enjoyed the show. Thank you for watching. What I really would like today is your feedback on games for January. Do you like my idea of a classic Resident Evil like Zero? Do you like the idea of I almost said Sea of Thieves. Sea of Stars, right? Indie Game of the Year. Or what about this Pizza Tower game? I want feedback. And if you have other ideas, share them. Because we need to figure this out within the next week to week and a half. We have about a week and a half to finish up RoboCop and Like a Dragon and do my year-end series. But once that stuff's done, I want to jump right into new stuff that you guys are going to be excited for. So please, by all means, share your feedback on what you would like to see. Leave comments. Let me know. I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And, of course, this is still the holiday season. I hope you'll be around for all my new stuff. And I will see you all tomorrow on the Level 1 podcast.